Now at 6, we are tracking the potential for strong to severe storms tonight. I'm going to have those details.
We're going to hear from a truck driver and local fire chief on the dangers of high winds. And it's election day in Missouri and Oklahoma. We'll take a look at some of the issues on the ballots.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Severe storms could roll into the 4 states this evening. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty.
Yeah, we are tracking the potential for strong to severe thunderstorms, especially at least an elevated threat across southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, and then a lower threat once you get in Kansas. But our entire area, we could get strong to severe thunderstorms. We do have a few popping up out there right now, but our main risk is going to be after 11 p.m. We are going to, I think the biggest risk is going to be wind and hail, but we are going to have at least a low tornado threat across the region. Right now, we just have one new severe thunderstorm warning that popped up in southeastern parts of Berry County. You can see these guys kind of pushing off toward the north and to the east. So this is mainly for hail. So you can see a very strong hail core. So this is right on top of the Eagle Rock on the west side of Table Rock Lake and also Roaring River. And these are lifting off toward the north and to the east. And then we're really going to focus on what happens out here in our far western counties, because that's where most of our storms are going to get going a little bit later on this evening. We'll have more details on that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Strong winds all across the 4 states increase fire danger and impact people driving high-profile vehicles especially. KOAM's Jana Hautala talked with a local truck driver and a fire chief about the dangers of those wind gusts.
Being a sail on a sailboat, I mean, it's worse being a box because we're so tall. You know, loads, at least you have a little bit of weight behind you. Where empty, you get kicked around a little more.
Truck driver Craig Branscombe says strong winds force high-profile drivers to slow down. It can also be dangerous for other drivers on the road.
It's bad enough driving beside a truck, but on a windy day, don't use us as a shield from the wind.
For semi-drivers, the high wind danger isn't just about their vehicle height. It can also be more dangerous if there's a fire burning near to the road.
If the smoke and everything is crossing the highway and everything, you're actually advised to shut it down and just wait until the smoke clears, because you may not be able to see through the smoke. It's a visibility issue.
Firemen may assist truck drivers in case of turnovers, but also with fires that can rapidly spread from wind gusts. Pittsburgh's fire chief says residents generally obey the city ordinances during high winds.
15 miles an hour, we say, no burning. Like today, we're 20, 25 miles an hour with gusts. Then that's absolutely a no to any kind of outside burning.
If you want to burn but are unsure about the weather.
Here in town, we would like for you to call the fire department, have us come out and check. We'll write you a burn permit and basically give you a time frame to where it's okay to get that thing burned down, and that way you're not being hassled by somebody driving by.
In Pittsburgh, Jana Hautala, KOAM News.
Fire chief says instead of burning leaves or limbs, Pittsburgh residents can take them to the city's compost site. With the arrival of spring, a lot of gardeners are eager to start planting their flowers and fruits and veggies. However, it's important to remember that the cold weather still could return. Experts at In the Garden in Pittsburgh say when the soil is too cold, the seeds won't sprout and the plants just won't grow properly. That can result in stunted growth or even the death of the plant.
Just the ambient temperature outside, it's how warm is the soil. So as the soil heats up, when you plant that plant, it'll actively grow. If the soil is too cold, you can actually stunt your plants.
I like to get started early, and I either cover up the pots, put all the pots together and cover them up with big trash bag, or I move them all to the garage.
Harrison within the garden says before people start planting, they should check the soil temperature and wait for it to be warm enough for optimal growth. Voters in Missouri and Oklahoma are deciding local issues today. Issues on the ballots in various communities include school bond proposals and proposed taxes on marijuana sales. Spring elections are also the time to decide who will serve on school boards. One election official stresses the importance of these elections.
The spring election or the municipal elections actually govern your day-to-day life. Like this election, we have 2 tax issues as well as school boards for the surrounding area, so it's very important.
Polls are open until 7 tonight. We're going to have the complete results on our KOAM News app and, of course, on KOAM News at 9 and 10. Doctors accused of not providing enough care to infants born during abortion procedures in Kansas could face lawsuits and criminal charges. That's according to a bill that won final passage today in the state's Republican-controlled legislature. The Kansas House voted 86 to 36 to approve a proposed Born Alive Infants Protection Law, similar to a proposed law that Montana voters rejected in November. The Senate approved the measure last week, and it goes next to Governor Laura Kelly, who vetoed such a bill in 2019. Another bill getting final legislative approval in Kansas would bar transgender people from using public bathrooms of their preferred gender. It could also bar people from changing their names or gender on their driver's license. The measure deals with bathrooms, locker rooms, and other facilities. It also defines sex as either male or female at birth. Governor Kelly is expected to veto the bill, but the voting margins suggests backers could override the veto. LGBTQ plus rights activists rallied in D.C. on Friday for Transgender Day of Visibility. Some say the bill would legally erase transgender people. Coming up, how Crawford County, Kansas is getting a new group of young leaders. Plus, some kids in McDonald County get a lesson in adulthood. Crawford County has a new group of young leaders. More than 450 sixth grade students in the county today graduated from the Pittsburgh Area Chamber Foundation's Youth Leadership Program. That program teaches kids to lead through role model interaction and by developing skills such as teamwork, communication, and conflict resolution.
We start to see young people step up into levels of leadership. That our county commissioners, city commissioners are not waiting to be my age before they decide to leave. That they step up when the time is right so they can make it.
The leadership program is in its 20th year. It's been implemented in every junior high school in Crawford County. McDonald County Schools today hosted a life simulation event for 7th and 8th graders. Officials say the event is designed to provide students with a realistic glimpse of adulthood and to help them understand responsibilities. Students experienced what it's like to live on a limited budget, make tough decisions, and face the consequences of their actions.
Life experience. I hope that they can see what their future would hold given the 2 different scenarios and know that if they make the better choices at the time, they may end up with a better adult life.
At the end of the event, students compared their 2 lives and saw the differences their choices can make for them. A little bit later, how the city of Little Rock is banding together to clean up from last week's tornado damage.
Plus, thunderstorms increasing for us tonight. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, another warm and windy day for us today. A lot of clouds increase throughout the daytime hours. And now we do have the threat for showers and thunderstorms. Some of those could be strong to possibly severe as we go through the overnight hours. But it's calm right now for most of us. Nice shot. That's Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. All right, you can see our highest probability of getting severe weather is just to the east of the region. But in our area, we do have at least a low to elevated threat across the region. We've had a couple little thunderstorms that have popped up in southwestern Missouri, so that's why I have timing at 5 p.m. But our main show is kind of 11 p.m. till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Our main threats are going to be hail, wind, and even possibly a few tornadoes later on tonight. But check this out. Look at the moisture. Dew points into the 60s. So we're going to watch storms fire right along this line. That is our dry line. Then right behind it, you can see the cold front. So as that cold front overtakes the dry line, it will start pushing it toward us as we go through the overnight hours. No watches here. Sounds like a watch is going to go out in east central parts of Missouri soon. Tornado watch to our north. We've just had kind of scattered showers and thunderstorms skirting our southeastern counties, but most of us are fairly dry at this point in time. You can see one storm moving just out of Berry County, so just to the west of Branson, and we're going to continue to see a few try to get going in eastern parts of Oklahoma. But most of our storms are going to fire right along this line. You can see them from northeastern Kansas. They'll fill in all the way back toward Wichita and then start to push south and east, and then it's really going to flare up in Iowa, northern parts of Missouri as well as we go through the overnight hours. All right, let's go through time. Most of us fairly calm. Over the next couple hours, we're going to get some scattered thunderstorms far southeastern counties. Then we're going to watch this line develop. So here's 11 p.m. So getting into our northwestern counties after 10 to 11 o'clock, and then slowly working south and east. The main threat with these are going to be large hail, gusty winds, but we can't rule out one or two quick little spin up tornadoes. Look how slowly it just works toward us. Here's 2 p.m., not 2 p.m., 2 a.m., just getting into Pittsburgh and then the metro, and then it continues to slowly push southwestern Missouri. Here's 5:30 in the morning. So we're going to have scattered thunderstorms somewhere in the viewing area all the way until about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and then things will start to improve. Rainfall, we just really got to see where the heavier storms line up. Most likely 1/4 of an inch, but there are going to be some spots that pick up some heavier amounts within some of those storms. Now, once we get rid of these, by tomorrow, you can see them zip on by, sunshine returns, but cooler, only right around 50 by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, high temps only into the upper 50s, so quite a bit cooler. Tomorrow night, we drop down into the upper 30s. Then once we get into Thursday, really Thursday a nice day as we go back into lower 60s, a slow warming trend as we go through the rest of the week. Also, the winds are going to be up there. Winds gusting 40 to 45 tonight, slowly calm down as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, which is definitely good news. But tonight we're going to be watching the thunderstorm chances. 57 tomorrow, 60 on Thursday, 65 on Friday. Once we get into the weekend, a slight chance for a few scattered showers late on Easter, but most of the weekend looks great. Next severe threat is next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
All right, you and the rest of the weather team have your night cut out for you.
Yeah, long night.
Will be. Thanks, Doug. Since a deadly tornado came through Little Rock, the community has been coming together to help one another clean up. Reporter Brooke Buckner takes a look at the city's cleanup efforts.
I feel like I was in a movie and it was just like, it was a serious thing, but at the same time, it was like, this is really happening. That's how Traylon Gaston remembers Friday afternoon when a tornado ripped through his neighborhood, damaging his house. It was trees, literally trees everywhere, front and backyard, and now they just basically all gone. Gaston and his family are okay, but still processing the scary situation. Now they're shifting their focus to cleanup, and the community is rallying with them. I have never seen, not even half, majority of these people a day in my life. And just yesterday and the day before, I'm so happy that we all got together trying to help each other out. Brad Seymour with ACS Roof Maintenance is putting tarps on homes as a way to give back.
Everybody right now is just, they don't know what to do. And they're just extremely grateful. So, and we're happy to do it. I'm pretty thankful. Me and my friend are pretty thankful because they didn't have to do this, and I'm glad they did because we wouldn't know what to do. It's very rewarding. You know, when people are hurting, they need to be loved, and we're grateful for the opportunity to help them. Seymour has at least 25 more homes to get to and says that's what they'll be doing the rest of the week. If you guys have any questions or need us to come out, we'll definitely come take a look.
Still ahead, another big offensive day for Missouri Southern baseball against Missouri Western, and a former Missouri Southern All-American basketball player finds a new home at the Division I level. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are tied for first place in the MIAA baseball standings coming into the day. The Lions are 16-4 in conference play. They're 28-7 overall and currently ranked 4th in the nation. Now this afternoon, Southern faces Missouri Western in a non-conference matchup in Kansas City. Check it out, football score here. Lions roll in this one 23-10. Another huge day for Webb City product Tragan Parker. He goes 4 for 5 with a double, 2 home runs, and 8 RBIs. Now listen to this, in his last 5 games alone, Parker has 8 homers and he's driven in 23 runs. The Lions will be back in action on Thursday night, opening up a big-time MIAA series against Central Missouri. Well, former Missouri Southern All-American Cam Martin commits to finish his college basketball career at Boise State University. Now, Martin has spent the last 2 years with the Kansas Jayhawks. He redshirted his first year in Lawrence, then got a medical redshirt this season after dealing with injury for most of the year. Now, before his time in Lawrence, though, Martin was a 3-time All-American for Missouri Southern. He finished his career in Joplin with more than 2,000 career points and 800-plus rebounds. A senior year in 2019, he posted 25 points and 9.1 rebounds per game. Also led the team in assists. Now, Cam isn't the only Martin headed to Boise State, by the way. His younger brother, Alex, who just finished his senior season at Webb City, will join the Broncos next season. Last night was the final night of the men's college basketball season. The Yukon Huskies won the national title, beating San Diego State 76-59. In that game, Tristan Newton had a double-double to lead Yukon, finishing with 19 points and 10 rebounds. Now for the Huskies, listen to this. It's their first national title since 2014, but it's their 5th in the last 25 years, and they've done it under 3 different head coaches. They now become just the second men's college program in history to win a championship in 4 straight decades.
It feels great to come through on promises made by me to all this, the great people of Connecticut, and then with these guys. This was our vision, this was our dream, this is what we talked about when we recruited these guys, that we could get together and do something big like this.
It means a lot. Great credits to the coaches and my teammates. The vision we had when I came here was to win a national championship, make it to the Final Four and win a national championship. And I came here just to do that, and just real blessed and thankful for these guys around me.
It was an honor to play against San Diego State today, too. I got to tell you, I think it was probably the most physical, one of the toughest teams we played this year, certainly one of the best.
Also tonight, Pittsburgh High School baseball team hosts Fort Scott for an SEK rivalry game. We'll have those highlights right here tonight at 10. And that's it for sports. We're back after this.
Tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14, we're going to have the latest election results from across Missouri and Oklahoma. Plus, of course, we're going to be keeping an eye on the possibility of severe storms making their way into parts of the area. That and a lot more is coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Security footage released yesterday captures the moment lightning struck a truck in Springfield, Missouri. Take a look. The footage is shocking. The truck was parked at the Greene County Highway Department. Greene County officials say the strike cracked the truck's front and rear windows, caused moderate damage to the interior. It also blew off several manhole covers and damaged nearby equipment. They say no one was inside, but a deputy was nearby when the lightning struck. They wrote in a Facebook post, quote, "Thankfully, she was not injured by the strike, nor were any nearby fuel tanks damaged. Crazy power of Mother Nature," end quote.
That is actually one of my biggest fears as I drive home so many nights during thunderstorms, the car getting struck.
You've actually been struck.
I know, that's why it's
That's
one of my
another
biggest
story.
fears.
That happened a long time ago when he was
Yes.
he was a kid. Tonight, lightning isn't the only thing we need to be concerned about.
More
It's,
thunder and lightning, large hail, gusty winds, and then we can't rule out a tornado or two. These are going to go all night long, and then once we get into tomorrow, sunshine returns quite a bit cooler. High temperature only right around 57.
Thanks for joining us. Stay in touch. Be careful out there. We'll see you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.